started. Gundam fight all set. Ready, go!
And you're expecting me to boomer things. Not gonna happen this time. No. It is time for the Mechpit chat. I, of course, am Ironcaster here to settle into the week because, well, the weekend has come and gone, and well, the start of the week has come along again. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to buy into all that propaganda that Garfield told you that said that, Monday was the worst day of the week. Personally, I think it's Tuesday, but, it is what you make of it. All that said, though, I want to welcome anyone out there who's looking for a nice little place to settle in and rewind after the start of their work week. Because it is time for the Mechpit chat. And hello, one and all, this is Ironcaster here speaking to you from Mechpit HQ. It has been a nice, relaxing weekend. A little tabletop gaming happened here at home. And, well, I figured let's see how everyone's doing out there. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I see we have down there in the chat the listless receptionist who's busy studying away, but has kind of come in and had a little chance to, maybe step away from the books for a few minutes just to come in and rewind for after the day. Screw you. Vince, this is what I was saying about, everyone wants you to think that Monday's the worst day at all. And it's really on us to kind of keep ourselves motivated, make sure we're paying attention. And really, whose fault was that for not remembering? Was it mine? I don't know about that. But go ahead. You can blame me, Vince. Blame me. Blame my eternal optimism for Mondays not being downright terrible. I too used to think like this, but that is, getting down that rabbit hole. Guys, how are we doing? We're already into March, and it really feels like it was like the longest month ever with all the stuff going on. Let me see here. Who else do we have in the chat here? Of course, Dave C. stopping in. Hey, what up, Dave C? We got to get together soon to hang out and to have another talk. I mean, you were wanting to talk about some, a few comics with me there, and sadly, just scheduling just didn't conflict with me. But it is what it is. Also in here, we have DJ Roddy G, who's saying, yes, Space Marines count. It's just power armor. Just like power armor in the Starship Troopers novel. It's a type of mech. Isn't it? That's kind of why we love it. That's one of those things that keeps drawing you in, makes you want to go check a little more. Just check a little more. What else can I find in here? Let me just go. Ooh. Necrons. We have robots. But aside from robots, we also have some mechs. But I think also in my little bag of tricks here, we have someone in the back here looking to kind of jump in, and here, let me go ahead and give him a little intro. He loves this clip so much.
Oh, you gods! My roast is ruined. But what if I were to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking?
I do like this. I do like that the background noise. It's always something's in trouble when you hear that. The bad guys are getting into position or something.
It's either that. I mean, the other option, of course, you start hearing the music getting faster and faster, which can only mean Char's coming. Look busy.
Look busy. Yes. Yeah. The helmet's looking pretty good. I do have to redo the jacket again. Oh well. I'll get it soon. I'll get it real soon.
I mean, ultimately though, that sounds like a future you problem. That's not for the Monday.
That's for the Tuesday.
I think my stance about Tuesday kind of being the worst sort of stands.
Oh no, I go to the gym and then I do some sewing. I'll be fine. I'll be happy.
I can't help.
I
but
almost
feel
got
that
the cape down right, and now I'm just a little closer on finding a perfected jacket template that I can, you know.
Well,
Just
you
do.
know what you should do is see if you can't find a local Joanne Fabrics, because I believe they're starting to go out of business.
They are. The one near my closest to me isn't going out of business quite yet, but they are going down.
It's a bit of a shame because that was a nice little place I was always going to. I was always able to go to get some, puppet supplies, or get for little arts and craft projects
I'm
where you get
so
that little.
pissed about that. I am so pissed about that. I'm like, where am I get all like the little fur and stuff like that? And I know Michael still has some stuff, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, but it's just like, not as much stuff though. It's like pittance compared, you know?
Well, I mean, I sort of lucked out because I just got a Michaels opened up this past summer. So
Yep,
like one
Michael's
opened
is
up right
okay,
in my
but
area.
Michael's is okay, but they don't have as much, you know. You're not going to see as much fabric for variety, you know. It's just oh well.
Ain't that the truth?
I'll go online now.
But how are you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. We're the helmet's good. The Char's helmet is looking decent. I just need to do a bunch of sanding and but I think I've got a pretty decent thing. It fits my head and it looks something like Char's helmet, so that's nice. Yep. I don't know if you can it's very unfinished, but it's no.
Oh,
never mind. I don't have a.
that sounds like we're getting that all set up. What do you expect? You expect me to do this for free? No.
That's okay. Yeah. And the Zaku is looking pretty, very good, very good. I just need to just cover it in one coat, and I'll probably do that one in the really nice warm days. I'll hit it up, and then I'll attach it to the control, and then we'll be all set. Well, obviously paint it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, luckily we're starting to get into that weather. I mean,
Yeah, thank God.
It was like 60 on the nose, so
Yeah, it was 50, but it felt like
So-
60 in the sun. Yeah.
I was so glad to finally get that little weather change.
I know it's about time too. I'm just like, bring on the spring.
Do do do.
Yep.
Oh, but let's see. So, I think since we last talked, you went and caught a little movie finally.
Oh, I saw Gigox, Gundam Gigox, G-Quax, whatever it's called.
G-Quax.
Oh, it's G-Quax.
That was my first thought coming out of the movie. But I was like, "That's how you're supposed to say it."
Yep. Yeah. He said it the way I said it too. I was just like, oh, I was right. And it's like it's just a what is it? It's just a placement name, you know. I was like, oh, okay. So,
well, I mean, that said, we did get a bit of news out of that whole thing this week. Though I suppose what was your initial thought of Gundam GQs coming out of it?
I think that they did a backstory, which the backstory was half the freaking movie, which I did not mind that one bit. Actually, I did not. It was for the people who like the original, the people who like the character known as Char Aznable. That was quite the ride, quite the fun ride, and he does have quite the what do you call it, the kind of the story that kind of revolves around it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Turns out Char is now went from being the secret protagonist to being the MacGuffin.
Yeah, and yeah, he's in the Phantom Zone. I don't know. We don't know where he is. He's gone. Like, did he disappear in the explosion? Well, not really. The explosion didn't quite work. It was, I don't know. It's a lot of questions that are still need to be answered, which is great. And
You know, I there is one particular image I have that I think perfectly sums up how we're kind of feeling, how everything's going right now with GQs.
oh yeah,
There we go. Yay!
you're SpongeBob. I'm Patrick. Yay! and it's true. It's true because well, Char is the better character. He's so much written better.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like there is basically no Amuro in it whatsoever. Like he's basically a non-factor. He doesn't exist for all intents and purposes.
This is one of the it's a Wonderful Life. I wish I was never born, right? This is the Armo Ray scenario where Armo Ray was never born.
Mm-hmm.
Because what would happen is, they would steal the Gundam and the white base, and Sailor Mass would still probably be part of attached to the Federation. And it's funny how he's like, oh no, he sees her like in the I forgot what she was. I think it was a gym. Was it a gym?
She had her own Gundam or something, but
yeah, it was
it's
a special type GM. Yeah,
it really it almost seems like we're getting to see like a universe where in fact everything is in fact made out to be better just because Char got a hold of the Gundam.
Yeah, right. I want to know what happened to our boy Rumble.
Don't remind me. Like,
did he get those? Did he get those freaking? Did he ever get those DOMs?
Ron forgot
would
to stream.
He need them though? Because he didn't have to take out the white base. That's what did him in. So if the white base is already in the possession of Char, like what mission is he doing? Is he just like taking over? Like have to is this where they are?
That is actually a really good point because his job was basically just kind of doing missions in like the American Southwest, which canonically at that point was Xeon territory. So he's just sort of over here kind of doing his like, lieutenant thing or whatever his rank had been. And he's just kind of overseeing stuff in the area. He's not being told to, hey, look out for the Gundam.
Yeah.
So he's just being like the best leader of his men.
Yeah. The White Devil is now the Red Devil, so that's funny how that works, right? It's like it's not the White Devil no more; it's the Red Devil, and the Feddies call it that.
I was like, I kind of like how this universe is going to turn out.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's one of those what if things, and they're just expanding it, and then they're expanding it into like it's like, all right, well that's how this place is now. These space colonies, there are Xeon colonies, and then there's neutral colonies, and the Federation sticks at Earth, kind of thing, which is nice.
So, since last week when we did the show, we've gotten a bit of more information about what's going on with this going forward. So, for example, we now know that it will in fact be premiering on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't hate that. Some people are gonna be like, "Oh, Amazon." Well, Amazon's not producing it, so don't worry. They're not gonna like what the name? They're not gonna rings of powder or freaking the Wheel of Times. They're not gonna do anything like that. It's produced by the guys who do Gundam normally, and the guys who do like Evangelion, and there's a couple other like creative hands that have their like vision in that one, which weirdly enough blends amazingly well. I was surprised.
Real quick, we got someone else popping in the back here. Let me play someone one of our regulars who has his own little clip. Don't worry, we'll be very brief with this.
Whoop whoop! It's a sound of the sheriff. What? Oh,
5-0. Oh no.
Uh-oh,
no.
the police Zakus are here.
No, I'm not a Zaku. Oh wait, I am a Zaku.
I made you a Zaku. It's true.
You're
I
a
did.
Zaku Punkwaddle.
And he's a police one too.
I am. Yeah.
Like in the G-Quacks, which is really neat.
I don't want to be a G-Quacks. You know those chicken legs?
You get to be a G-Quack.
Now, is your mono eye green or red?
Ooh.
I would assume orange.
Orange.
Mm.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
that was interesting when they're looking at the mono eye and the mono eye turns once they put the armament computer on, and the eye went from green to red, and it's just like that thing's armed.
That's one of those neat little things that really, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean a ton to general audiences, but for the Gundam fans, for the people who love all the little nitty-gritty details like that, that's just these fun little details they put in just to help give a further signifier to audiences that most people probably wouldn't even pick up on, but you still appreciate. You're like,
I mean,
thank
they
you for doing
explain
that.
it very well. Anyways, like even like the most like non like anime person would understand. Like it's like, oh, they put this special computer in so that the weapons can be turned on. Essentially, it's like the computer that turns like all the safeties off. Essentially, it's like you owning let's say you're owning a Tomcat, right? You just love Top Gun and you want an F-14 Tomcat, but you can't have an armament computer and weapon stations. Right?
Oh no. Yeah.
That's illegal.
Right.
So you smuggle in some you would have to smuggle in that armament computer. So you already attached all the weapon stations, you found some bombs and some 9Xs and all that stuff.
Well,
you just need that computer.
Max is in the danger zone.
That's right.
I know. And if it wasn't for one word you used, we might not have been flagged at all by the powers that be. I'm glad that you used an analogy that is not a current day kill switch.
No. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And well, pretty much the thing is like that girl, she's like, she has pretty much the weapons armament computer in her pocket, in her backpack, right? And she's like running from the police because, it's highly illegal. So to be like, if,
does she have to
the FBI is chasing like someone who's trying to smuggle the computer to you, right? So you can launch some missiles off your Tomcat.
Yeah.
But how are you doing, Punkwaddle? And welcome.
Oh, I hit the ground waddling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just had my usual hangout with my friends, and we talked less Transformers and robots than sometimes we do. So it's good weather out here in Texas, so we got to sit out on the porch in like 65-degree weather.
Oh, that's boss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice being in the Texas colony, isn't it?
Yeehaw! Yeah, my Zaku can have a Texas shaped shield. Nobody complains.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing pretty good. This weekend I wound up jumping into and picking up Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh,
The
this
game?
is gonna eat up so much of my time. Yes.
The video game. Okay, cool. Yeah, I heard lots of people liked it.
It is so satisfying. Just my personal play style is being the Vindicator, have the big thunder hammer, just jump jetting in and just slamming down on Tyranids by the dozens. Ripping, tear, screaming, "Arr!" Just all the heresy. We have to get the flamer.
Get the flamer. The heavy flamer.
I like how that's a counterpoint to Brandon's repent.
Well, I mean, look, if we're gonna,
That would be a counter. Yeah, a heavy flamer. Yeah, that would be a.
Well, they're also from the same world, right?
I know.
Oh yeah, it's all Warhammer. But the thing is, if you're gonna steal clips from Warhammer shows, you steal from the best.
Mm.
And really, Russian Badger is probably one of the best out there.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. But anyway, so we did get a little bit of news with Gundam GQs that came out. After its little run of, say, 10 days or so in the U.S., it managed to earn a little over $1 million, and it's got just shy of $3 million at home. So all in all, we're probably looking at about a $5 million box office pull for the movie. So pretty respectable little till for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially considering it's ultimately the prelude and just a teaser of a larger show to come.
Also, it was criminally like distributed. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
I had to go like 40 minutes to the closest place. I ended up going a little bit longer to go into the big city to watch it there, but still.
You couldn't fathom how hard it was to get to those events.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so I would enjoy watching this, but like I kind of need some more popcorn to kind of watch the show.
If only they had a Zaku head popcorn bucket.
That would have been the best. Oh my god!
I would have driven far and wide.
Yeah, a Zaku head or a Gundam head. Either
I
way.
would have traveled to Side 7 for that.
Yeah.
No, what they should have done.
I would have smuggled out from Site 3 Zaku head.
What they should have done is gone for the Haro, the ball.
Oh, you're right. Haro would be a great.
Honestly, Haro would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Haro would be perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. Haro, popcorn.
Amuro, you're not in this movie.
Slap.
Oh my god. If they actually do come out with a live action Gundam, like they need to have it in movie theaters with a Haro popcorn bucket. They do need that. They actually do.
I mean that
absolutely.
That would be actually amazing. For all those lurkers out there unaccounted for.
For all those in Bandai who was watching.
Mm-hmm. Right, because we're the big screen.
Well, of course, with 3D printers now, we could just make that ourselves.
We could.
It actually, side note, at dinner tonight, it was slow. But we were talking to one of the managers just about the business, right? And it's a newer restaurant in town. He said things are doing pretty good, but he was saying something about somehow we got talking about how he's into D&D and he's got the 3D printer upgraded to a resin printer, and his friend has a printer. Now they've done some foam stuff as well. So like they're building all sorts of really, really awesome things for their minis and printing out different instances and keeps and boats and like all this stuff that sound amazing. Like with that visual representation, I think that would be part of the issue. And I know D&D is supposed to be the mental game, but having those minis and stuff to represent on the board, and you can really just see it come to life.
Well, not only that, I mean, just outside of just D&D, there's just the infinite possibilities for wargaming.
Right.
I mean, so for example, this weekend I went to one of my local hobby stores. I think I sent you guys a picture, just the sheer wall of stuff.
Ooh.
From there.
I think I remember seeing one of those pictures like that. Yeah.
I like
walls. And I want to kind of get
stuff.
some. I want to get a couple things from there. So, for example, I got a bunch of skeleton warriors.
Cool.
Because I might be building an army based on skeletons and mummies. And also lizardmen.
Sweet.
Because you can never have quite enough of those. And for like $30, it's like 24. It's like 24 to 30 of each. Yeah, I'll do that all day.
Yeah. The guy was saying now he has the resin printer to print off really good detail, but you just got to be careful with the resin. But still,
But I also got one other piece.
oh,
One
Mr.
I think you
Sandman.
guys, what I think you guys will appreciate. Something that we were kind of looking at a while back on the show here.
Oh,
From our little the 30-minute mission, guys.
oh, nice.
Here, let me blow myself up.
Woo,
There we go. Back
There-
this off.
nice. Their fantasy line is pretty dang cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I like this gimmick where you can basically kind of have him start off as this very basic design, and then he does the job change. So he becomes like a little bishop or a priest, and then has another job change and becomes a bishop.
Because you can buy the expansions for all those and add on, right?
Oh yeah,
That's really cool. I don't think I've seen a box in person to realize that they have their like just humanoid figure, a more, ball of clay that you can modify and tack on different armaments to.
well that's been the big fun of a lot of these secondary brands that have been out there. Bandai finally picked on the fact that like other companies are starting to do this. Where you have, for example, Kotobukiya is a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, boys, they make more than just sexy girl statues.
Well, they were frame arms before they became girls, right? Gender swapped.
Yep, that was the other one that does it too.
Yeah, I mean that's a Kotobukiya kit, though.
Yep, I got one. Pretty basic. I haven't painted this one up or anything. I'm actually surprised it's showing up on the camera, but I can easily just go in and pop this leg off if I want to swap that leg out with another design.
Nice. I have one frame arms kit that I have not put together.
It's right in the pile of shame.
It's a big pile of
And
shame.
how do we put you back on?
I was Snacks. I was looking for a Gundam Breaker today and Punkwaddle's hat. I still haven't found them, but I did find a few other things, and I did find some more backlog of stuff that I've had.
Oh, cool.
Like my SD Neo Zeong.
Oh,
Hang on. Vince, you realize I have more figures within reach. We gotta have our little blonde succubus.
Yep.
Because blondes are better.
They have more fun.
And also our little common America.
Oh,
There's
you got that.
always-
Yeah.
Always here for little moral support.
There we go.
I think there's like one or two other ones up there. I just can't quite reach them because I have so many on the shelf now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But speaking of waifus, we did get there was a little story started to kick off this weekend. One that you guys the story is the fact that you didn't hear about it. We all love viral marketing. We've talked about it on here before. How much we love some of the McDonald's trends of marketing.
Oh yes. Szechuan sauce.
Yep. Char
Exactly.
eating a McDouble. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The McChar burger.
Yeah, the McChar burger and the McDonald's the McDonald's mech feeding a kaiju that's hungry some nuggets. And the kaiju's like, thank you.
And the recent Happy Meal toys that look like kaiju, Frylock transforms.
Well, over in Japan, at the moment, they have the current marketing has been Miku.
Yes.
We're starting to see him pop up in quite a few places. And of course, we've seen a few things popping up around. And I think one of the videos that I came across recently, I kind of felt I love this one.
Okay.
just because it's innocent, it's wholesome. It's that Japanese essence of kawaii. You know, you just look at it, you can't help but say that is cute.
Oh.
Yep, that
Like
is cute.
Oh, we have video.
Oh.
I will see each and every one of you at the Bible study on Sundays at 2 p.m. What the fuck did I just walk into?
What you watched, my dear man, was cuteness in a bag of fries.
Yeah,
So kawaii.
Look, one of my favorite animes is one of my favorite current animes right now that I haven't finished is Bastard. So trust me, I'm all about the fan service. I just had to judge you guys because I walked into that. Okay, I just had to judge y'all.
You did have to judge us, and we expect it, and we show no shame, sir. We show no shame.
you know, if you're going to judge us any harder, you would have been bringing out the heavy flamer.
Get the flamer. The heavy flamer.
Yep. My heavy flamer right here. My heavy flamer right here. We just had a sermon on Sunday about the word, the spirit, the word, and the spirit is our weapon, our sword. So yeah, I've got the heavy flamer right here. Purge the Xeno scum. Purge the Xeno scum.
Repent.
Purge the heretic. Yeah, and repent while you're at it. Absolutely.
I feel like I must have worn my throat out this weekend screaming out purging Xenos as I started delving into Space Marine 2. So.
Oh, you finally got into it, huh? Oh, dude, I love that fucking game. It gets a little repetitive, which I will give that. Like the one complaint that Quarterback Garrett had was it does feel a little repetitive. It does get like that. But dude, if you've got a group of like 2 friends to play with, like it's gonna be a fucking blast no matter what, because you're just gonna get on Discord or a stream or something and shit talk each other and murder some Xenos and some heretic scum, and it's an absolute blast. So yeah,
sounds like a good old time.
It is a really good time. Like, I mean, there's nothing better than taking a chain sword and literally tearing it through a heretic or a Xeno scum and just watching all the blood splatter freaking everywhere. Like it is one of the most glorifying and unifying things you will ever see. You understand where the Imperium stands united when you see a chain sword tear through a heretic, man. Like it all makes sense at that point.
I have been having so much fun delving into Warhammer. Every time I decided to dip my toes back in, kind of look around, and I'm like, yeah, why don't I just kind of get in here, get a little round. Oh wait, that's a little chaos.
That's a little chaos. Well, I mean, you're also the guy saying that I thought Necrons would be I like the Egyptian robots. I think those undead zombie motherfuckers are great. And I'm like, purge the fucking Xenos, man. But to be fair, I did use I've been out for the last few days because I've had some sick kids and I haven't been able to get any work done. And now the kids are all out on spring break and I've still got sick kids. But I was watching Glenn Beck this morning because I love Glenn Beck. And I was watching him this morning. He's like, use Grok. He's like, I don't trust me. I'm going somewhere with this. He was like, you need to use Grok. You need to start playing with the AIs more. You need to understand that it's a tool, that it's a shovel, yada, yada, yada. Right. And I'm like, so I've got all of this unpainted Dark Angels, like Warhammer plastic crack underneath my desk out here. Like I have a giant pile of shame. Right. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. So I asked Grok. I was like, Grok, what's the most competitive Dark Angels team that you can get? And it gave me a whole list and as to why and what the different units are used for and everything else. And then, of course, X got DDoS attacked just like Rumble did. And so I ended up not being able to ask it my follow-up questions because I want the Lion in my team. But the Lion's like a 350-point model and it's a melee weapon. But of course, at that point, it was all broken because, shut out. Ukraine can fight a war and hack websites all at the same time. Cheers to that.
It has been so crazy. They've been they have been fighting against us in a lot of ways. Like, oh, we're gonna put all these American journalists on a hit list. Like, what the fuck's up with this?
Mm-hmm.
It's literally Islam 2.0 because that's the same shit that they did. I mean, you remember that like that French and that Swedish guy that literally got killed for their cartoons of Muhammad, right? Like a few years, like several years back. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's in liter. And you know what the funny part about it is? That's also Russian tactics because remember all of the reporters that miraculously fell out of windows. You know, so yeah. Guess they're a little more Russian than they want to admit.
Maybe odds be ever in your favor.
It does kind of start lining up. You know, it's either that or you get Arkancided.
Yep. Yeah.
Wait.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Wait, when you said Arkancided, I thought something about your cousins doing something, but different.
I got you, Punkwaddle. Good to see you, buddy. I ain't got to stream with Punk in a while, so good to see you, buddy. And nice to meet you, buddy.
I was going to say the last time I think I really talked to you was in San Antonio at the meetup when we were all hanging out on the porch.
Okay, good to know. Premise that with the fact that I hadn't eaten anything all day and I started drinking as soon as I got there, so I probably don't remember much of that. I thank God for Griffin being my wingman because Griffin made sure I made it safely somewhere to sleep.
Now
I won't do that again.
Let's line this up with a couple of specific things that happened. Was this before or after, like Riley came in and started trying to harass Eric July?
Ooh,
was he there?
At the San Antonio meetup?
Yes.
It did.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that at all. And like I was taking pictures with Eric because I know Eric July's college track coach. So I was like, hey, you know, Coach Flanagan says hi. Let's take some pictures and send them to him. And yeah, because I love Eric. And I had everybody sign my skull, which was great because I was like, you know, everybody's got stuff to sign. I'm like, but it was Halloween. It was October. So I wanted something unique. So I got everybody to sign. I went and bought this from HEB before I left town and had everybody sign my skull. So that was great.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I didn't hear anything about that. But I avoid the drama as much as I can. Like I did kind of enjoy watching Eric kind of destroy Dick Masterson over the weekend, which I thought was really great. That's literally is like the farthest extent I have read into any of that shit. Because like I used to follow EVS, I used to watch their streams and all of that kind of stuff. And when all that shit just turned into nothing but a drama farm, I'm like out. I spent like 3 months watching Drama Alert on YouTube, like back in like 2015. And I'm like, you know what? That was enough for me. It was entertaining for a while, but I'm like, not my monkeys, not my circus. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got bigger dragons to slay. And
wait, you have monkeys in your circus?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Damn,
man.
I need to step up my game. Damn.
Yeah, if you didn't buy the it's not Pathfinder, damn it, I'm having Spelljammer. If you didn't buy the Spelljammer before they removed the Hadozi, then I understand why you don't have monkeys. But I have Hadozi in my circus, and they're great, and I don't enslave them. They get a fair wage, and they love it. They have a great time entertaining the kids. So it's wonderful.
Play guitar.
Exactly. And so, yeah, like I can't stand all of that kind of bullshit. Like that shit just drives me up the fucking wall to no end. Like, I'm like, we got bigger dragons to slay. I'm still trying to conquer Disney and Warner Brothers and the Federal Reserve and like all of these other things. And like, y'all are fighting amongst each other. Like, I'm not putting up with the, like, and that's why I love Eric's attitude about it. He just carries on. You know what I mean? He just carries on with the mission, man. He's out there pumping out like 3 comics every fucking month, damn near it feels like at this point. You know what I mean? Plus Ripazine magazines and all this merch. And like that he's got it. You know what I mean? And like that I'm there for. The rest of this bullshit is just fucking noise, man. I love all my indie creators. I love all my guys over at like fundmycomic.com. And of course, Jason Sandberg's a really good friend of mine. He sends me a fucking Christmas card every year. Where's Jupiter #2, by the way, Jason? But like, it's like, I just want to see people create and do their thing and make the world, you know, we need good comics. I got 6 kids, right? I need good comics. I need good animation. I need good stories to give to those kids and to pass that stuff on generationally. And right now, all these big fucking mega corporations are destroying everything they've got a hold of. You know, I didn't get a chance to look at it over the weekend and actually see if it was confirmed from Warner Brothers' fucking mouth, but the fact that they're race swapping Snape, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if Warner Brothers actually confirmed that or not, but if they did, like, you're toast. You're fucking done. Because I didn't like the movies. I despise the Harry Potter movies, but I love the freaking Harry Potter books. I mean, I got 2 of the freaking giant, like, colorized ones right back here. And guess what? Snape ain't fucking black in them pictures.
It does sound like that's largely been hard confirmed at this point. That is going to wind up happening. So Oh boy, I can't wait to see James Potter like hanging Snape from a tree as part of the bullying process.
Like,
Yeah, ouch. But
Yeah, the big mean white guys hanging the poor little black kid.
You kind of ain't welcome around here, mudblood.
dude, the worst
Wow.
fan theory I saw was that like James and Cerberus are going to have an unrequited little homosexual interaction, and James is going to be so put off by it that that's the only reason he hates Snape, and that's the reason why he clings to Lily and his friends. He's like, that's just a fan fucking going, you know what? Like, if Warner Brothers is going to do this, let's just go all the way to the 9. Let's take it up to 11 as far as how bad they can really make it.
Unfortunately, as long as none of them are trans, she might actually like entertain that notion, because she's all about the LGBT, just not the T.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I just can't think. Like, if Zaslav allows that, it's like, can you not fucking read the room? Are you literally going to do the same dumbass mistakes that Warner Brothers has always done with stuff like this? You shelved the Batgirl for a reason, dude, and it wasn't just because it was a bad movie. Okay, let's be honest about that.
It's a TV show, but it's okay. I also forgot. I also didn't watch
like a
it.
made-for-TV movie or something.
What would I know? I didn't even watch it.
Nobody did.
Well,
I didn't even watch freaking Az complain about it. That's how bad it was. Like, yeah, I don't even want to watch the person whining about it.
Dude, I had a great time making some of those videos over. Yeah, it's the news cycle. It's always fun for a little while, but it's like it's like I didn't bash Skeleton Crew every single week because it never made the Nielsen ratings, even though it was Star Wars news. Because it's like at some point I'm tired of beating a dead horse. You know, I'm actually kind of excited for a couple of other projects out there. Like, so far,
Skeleton Crew was not bad.
Right.
It was not like mind-bogglingly good. Like, that's everyone's expectations are through the freaking roof. But it was exactly what it was supposed to be, a fun adventure kids movie, TV show thingy. But in
I watched the first 2 episodes, and some people say those were the best.
It was.
But it didn't seem Star Warsy to me. It seemed like it could have been a really cool sci-fi, and if they hadn't stuck the Star Wars brand to it, they could have added some other cool sci-fi elements to it that might have.
They didn't do a crazy amount of key jangling, but they did enough to like, oh, it is Star Wars, you know.
But like, you could do some cool, fun sci-fi elements that were creative and more catered to probably that story, in a coming-of-age story for kids. Goonies in space.
I think that's the worst part, is they've damaged the Star Wars brand so bad that even something that's halfway decent to good is not going to get any traction. And we're seeing that with Daredevil right now too. And that sucks, because the Daredevil show, I've watched the first episode and a half so far because we're reviewing it on Thursday, and it's good, but it premiered with like 7 million viewers.
Yeah,
that's abysmal.
0.5 worldwide. I was just seeing that tweet.
Plus, it was also going up against Trump, like doing a speech at the same time. It was like the worst time they could have absolutely chosen to do it.
Well, it almost seemed like that was intentional too, but that was a fail.
Yeah, that was a really. Oh yeah, because it released on Monday. We didn't watch it till Thursday, but yeah, it did release on Monday. It was funny. I played Cyberpunk while everybody else was watching. I was like, I don't need to watch the State of the Union. I follow both of them on Twitter. They talk so much that I know exactly what they think. I have no reason to watch the State of the Union.
We already know there's be so much coverage of it all going on that you don't need to watch it yourself, because you're gonna have 35 people you're probably subscribed to that are gonna give you all the highlights. You're gonna probably see those once or twice before the night's over.
Holy crap! You know exactly what I did, Ironcaster. How are you spying on me? I don't bother watching that big thing. I just watch the highlights because it doesn't matter. Like sports.
Because the secret,
I just watch the highlights.
The secret
Who won
is
the team?
The exact same way I did it.
Yeah.
Well, see, and what's funny is before I got into the pop culture situation, like, politics was my bread and butter. Like, my first channel on YouTube was politics, right? Like, I was interviewing local politicians, trying to do the whole ground up thing. And then I went through the primaries of 2022, and I realized that until the boomers go away, Until the boomers find until the boomers end up themselves in heaven with the Lord, nothing is going to fucking change. So I'm like, I'm not even going to bother fighting this shit. I mean, I went to the freaking Texas. I went to the Texas, national convention, the Republican National Convention in Texas, the state convention, and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I was full bore in there. I've got my local representative to the House on text message. I can text the guy. Like I got that in bed with all that kind of stuff. But I was like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work because there's just there are too many of them still clutching onto power that it's not gonna change at that level. So yeah, but now I do.
You want to watch Al Green shake a cane around for another 30 years?
But what my favorite part though of going to that convention was getting to meet I'm having a brain fart right now. The guy that trolled old Eye Patch McCain really hard and got slammed by his fucking people.
Alex Stein.
Yeah, dude, that motherfucker is huge. Dude, he's got to be like 6'5". I swear I got a picture of him. And it was the best part was I got a picture of him in his swimsuit when he was going on the floor of the Republican convention just to troll what's my piece
I
of
think
shit
he might be
senator that I've got.
6'3", but yeah. He is pretty tall.
Because he showed up in one of the Dallas meetups a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I saw him.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Was he wearing his one piece? Because he was wearing his one piece at the Republican.
No, he was wearing the American flag vest.
Nice.
Kind of with like it was like I think it was about I don't know. I think Brahma helped pull some strings on that one.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I'm going through Zeta right now, and I'm at that point where like Char is like going up to like to do like a public address and stuff like that, and the Titans are like actively trying to like disturb their speech and all that stuff, and it's like, oh, the AU against Republicans, and the Titans are the Democrats.
I love that. That is so great.
It's like oh, the anti-Earth.
Well, Gundam did political intrigue pretty well.
They did. Oh my god, Gundam is like it's just. You're just like you could tie like any situation into this. Is like, which
is why it's beautiful sci-fi because
like, am I a space noid or am I one of those Earth noids? People,
is this real life or is this a space noid?
Yeah,
right. Like, what the best and we've talked about like Star Trek, Star Wars, Gundam all came out started becoming a thing in the late 70s, right? And late so like there's
80s, yep.
Well, yeah, 70s, 80s, but it's like this sort of not one-to-one, this idea of using this sci-fi realm to deal with world issues and people's issues without being a one-to-one ratio. Fast forward 40, 50 years, and it's like, well, if this isn't this, then it doesn't count. It's like, well, that's not how we explore ideas in a, quote, safe space, dare I say, but a fun theoretical space. Like, if your safe space has to be so one-to-one comparison to real life, then it's not actually safe. It's just,
Well, and that's why all the woke stuff has failed, right? Because back then you were dealing with, whether and given I haven't watched very much Gundam, I'll be completely honest about that. I know I need to. I know it's heresy. I apologize, but I will get to it eventually. But
it's one of those things where like I'm starting to get a little more Warhammer 40K. I'm taking this into my life. I'm loving this. The Divine and the Infinite was an excellent book, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah. You wait till you get to the Caiaphas Cain books. You are gonna laugh your ass off. The Caiaphas Cain books are incredible. If you want like an easy introduction into Warhammer 40K that's not too crazy about giant battles and like they call it bolter porn, where it's all the battles and stuff like that. But like, yeah, the Caiaphas Cain books are incredible. They're hilarious. Caiaphas is an incredible character. He's so funny. And his personal aid is great too. But it's one of the things is the problem with it is when you take those fictional storytellings and you actually start pulling real world politics into it, that's never what the classics did. They discussed quote unquote politics, which I would argue, and many others have as well, were moral standards, right? Like you talk about like assisted taking yourself out in Canada. You talk about whether or not it's better to live in a totalitarian regime where everybody's peaceful and happy, or is it better to live free and in chaos, right? They talked about like actual like moral fundamentals to society versus going, hey, this is an allegory of Donald Trump and he's saying all the same things that Donald Trump said in his speeches and that's bad and racist and da-da-da-da. Like that was never it. You know, you were never going to see Bill Clinton show up on Star Trek The Next Generation, right?
But you might see a captain playing a saxophone.
True, but you didn't. But you saw Stacey Abrams show up in fucking Star Wars, right? So it's like, oh, well, I guess we know exactly how you feel about things.
Mm-hmm.
She's the world president.
Honestly,
really,
if Stacey Abrams was the president of the Earth, I would join Xeon in a heartbeat.
well, the truth
Drop
is,
another colony. Drop another colony.
Well,
Drop another colony.
the nice thing is at least like the nice thing is at least her gravitational pull will like steer it right towards her.
That's true. I mean, he's not wrong.
But the thing with Star Trek, though, and the beauty of it, especially when you go back to the original series, like they were able to work these things in a smart way, where it wasn't the point to tell that story. And I think the perfect example was there was an episode where they did commentary on Vietnam without making it directly to say like, oh, we were told to make this about Vietnam. They, the Federation shows up on a planet where the Klingons were providing weapons to one side, and in order to maintain the balance of power, the Federation was playing with this idea of should we continue this arms race and balance out the power here to be able to further stop the Klingons from spreading their influence. It was a way they were able to do that commentary and weave it into the story in a way that fit naturally. It doesn't feel like it's dated and of its time.
Well, and I think that's the biggest problem we have right now is we have a bunch of quote unquote let's just say creatives, a bunch of creatives, because it's the artists too, a bunch of creatives that are essentially hacks. Right. We saw that in game journalism as well. Right. And we saw that in nerd journalism and all this other kind of stuff. These people that they wanted to be political writers. Right. But they don't have enough talent to do that. They're not good writers. They're not good storytellers. It's the reason why you saw all these people with like the guy that were DEI hires. Like we've heard the stories from inside of Disney, inside of Pixar, inside of Marvel that other people had to pick up their slack because guess what? They couldn't do the damn job. So their only way to make things sell is go, oh, we'll make it political and we'll own the other side. And that, yeah, isn't that awesome? Isn't that creative? Why didn't you buy my book? And it's like, well, because your story's shit. That's why I didn't buy your book, because I didn't like CW stories got really bad towards the end. And I didn't realize back then it was because of the wokeness. I didn't have a word for it. I just knew the storytelling was shit and I didn't care about what they were doing. Well, and that's why I stopped watching it.
I'll say this, like I don't watch SNL, but I've watched some of the clips from the 50th anniversary and their big show. And then there was that big outrage with Tom Hanks wearing the MAGA hat and coming off like some podunk idiot, right? Well, when you mock the people who actually have the purse and buy stuff as opposed to the people who like that it exists, like in Zoolander, I don't listen to his music, but I appreciate that Sting makes music, right? So all the tweets and all the bots, but when you basically mock the people with the purse and the coin who have invested in your career, your franchises, and then they're like, okay, well, if that's what you think of me, I think I'm some dim idiot who's going to just keep giving you money. Well, no. It's just like I said. There's a fundamental flaw in you buy it because I made it,
and that's what it is. It's the entitlement, right?
If you don't buy it, then you're racist. Everyone knows this.
Well, do you think the issue nowadays is the fact that social media is such a big factor? Is that you have this constant desire where people are able to get that instant gratification where they can get all the back pats of the attention for saying the right thing and saying, I was a good little activist and I went on to social media and I did my part. Everyone acknowledged me.
That goes back to the SJW, before we called woke stuff what it is. It's the idea of the keyboard warrior. It's I'm an activist. I liked, I promoted, I retweeted something. What did you do about it? I didn't go to local government. I didn't donate any money. I didn't pass out pamphlets or try to create awareness. I tweeted, and all of my 50 followers might have seen it, right? Yay. I did my part.
It's the virtue signaling, and that's what it's always been, right?
Well,
the majority of these people that have done this kind of stuff were never invested in it, right? Disney was never invested in it. Disney had no problem editing things for the Middle East. They had no problem shrinking black people on posters or hiding their faces on posters for China. You know what I mean? It's like it's always been a virtue signal. There have been true believers that would gladly take everything down and burn everything down to the ground with them. But guess what? The people actually in power never gave a shit. It was a virtue signal right from the beginning. I mean, think about June last year with all of the lack of pride stuff we saw on everybody's Twitter accounts. You know what I mean? Of all these major corporations, they were never fucking true believers. They know this is losing them money, so they're going to stop it.
Well, look at what's going on in DC right now, where they're getting rid of Black Lives Matter Avenue.
Well, and that specifically has to do with Trump more than anything else. Oh yeah. Oh, it was.
But I do agree with the point you're trying to make a minute ago, Ironcaster, about like, I think the currency, right? The currency of the internet, and I've made some videos about this too, but like, it's trolling. It's before Dogecoin was a thing. It was Doge and memes and all this stuff. And it's whatever's trending, you have to ride the coattails. Why do we have half the drama we do? Like what you were talking about, Mr. Common Nerd, a minute ago. Why does all these people, instead of rise to creating and do something more, they stay in their same pit of cesspool and just create their little thunderdomes? It's this, you have to go after somebody that you think is on your same level and your competitor and tear them down. And like, there's some drama over this weekend that I'm not going to name names, but there's been a few different avenues and aspects and realms. Like you were talking about Eric July, but there's some other stuff too recently this weekend that a bunch of big channels of all different shapes and sizes that cover all different shapes of things have been going at it and calling each other out. And some of them were smart enough to say, no, we're removing this from Twitter. We're going to talk about this behind closed doors because this is getting out of hand, because it makes it, if everybody looks bad and everybody up and people are like, I had respect for you. Now I'm going to unsubscribe and never pay attention to you because all this dirty laundry is online and I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't want to know anymore. I'm done.
Everyone knows you're not supposed to hang dirty laundry online. You're just supposed to be clean before you hang it on the line.
But and you're right. And it's like, it's one of those things, like, that's why I can't stand all the drama BS. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and I firmly believe this, and you can call me crazy, you can call me some right-wing fundamentalist or a crazy Christian or whatever. We're fighting the devil, right? In the culture war, in politics, and all of this kind of stuff. We're fighting literally the forces of hell. And it's like, y'all want to bicker amongst each other. You know why they injected all of this LGBT race swapping nonsense into our culture, into our nerddom? To divide people, because hell doesn't care what side wins. All they care about is the body count, right? Like, and that's all it is, because they, it's the same thing with the virtue signaling from these companies. They didn't care about black people. They didn't care about gays or any of the rest of this stuff. All they cared about was virtue signaling and having people divided. And that's exactly what we saw. How many, like the race swaps, like I remember I was a kid in the 90s, right? Like the 90s version of Cinderella with Brandy and Queen Latifah was fucking awesome. And guess what? Disney didn't tout it out there as the first black Cinderella. They touted it as it's Cinderella with Brandy and Queen Latifah. And everybody loved it. And nobody had a problem with it. But the point was, and this is essentially post-Obama, was it's one of them situations where it was like, that was the point, is now you have to divide people because, hey, well, you don't like that they race swap this character? Well, you must be a racist. We're like, no, we just want the characters we've seen in our stories represented the way they're in our stories. But that makes it to where all of the quote unquote liberal people or lefties or whatever you want to call them, or particular races or genders or LGBTQ people, well, now they feel they have to defend these characters, even though they all know the stories are shit, right? But they feel like they have to defend these characters on social media because of that, even though we know the numbers don't add up. Guess what? how's turning Star Wars into a girls' brand worked out for you? How's the viewership? How's the
Not
watch
very well.
hours?
Wait. Star Wars is a girls' brand?
Well, according to Kathleen Kennedy, it is now.
Oh, what the hell? I can't watch it now.
Which
Exactly.
which I will say has pushed
Everybody
me
needs-
further and further away from so much of the established entertainment going out there. Like, there used to be a day and place in which I would have been first in line for any Star Wars movie coming out. Heck, this past year, I saw the Phantom Menace in theaters all by my lonesome. Like, I had an entire theater myself, which was nice. It was great. I liked it.
Nice. But that
But
shows
the
you.
problem-
But if the Phantom Menace couldn't get a theater pack, that shows you how bad things are for Star Wars.
Yeah.
But the problem is they fundamentally change the stuff beyond what I recognize. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm looking at the Thunderbolts, and it's like, this ain't the Thunderbolts I recognize from the comics. This is none of that stuff. You're not giving me what I want to enjoy. I'm
Right.
not going to go and show up and give you my money just because you slapped you slapped a label on something just that I recognize. It's like,
Mhm.
no thanks, not interested. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying your D&D.
Well-
I'm gonna go off and find some other entertainment. And I gotta tell you guys, I have been finding that in spades so many other places. In the realm of comic books, we've got the Rippaverse has been, firing at all cylinders, putting out books, and they are, I think, one of the best people out here putting this stuff out. But they are
their
not the
stuff
only
good?
ones on
I
that tier.
don't have any in their things.
Well, even if their stuff's pretty good, I think it's a solid. I think a lot of their stuff's been a solid B. Like, it's
Okay,
worth checking out. Definitely worth looking at.
Yeah.
But I think probably one of the best, though, as good as they've been. I think there's a company that's just a little bit better.
Oh.
That's Iconic Comics, the makers of Common America.
Yeah.
I will tell you, like,
I do enjoy their stuff. I do
you're
enjoy
muted.
it.
Hence the girl.
You're muted.
Show that off on the back. I was like, yeah, of course you're into that weeb stuff, but show the artwork on the background, on the back. That's why those sell.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
shit like that works. There was there was a Marvel guy. They're doing like a reprint or a redo of like what was it, Savage Land, right? And they showed off Savage Rogue, and people were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe all the stuck ups with the stick up their ass."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, trust me, we want to watch her eat. We want to watch her eat things all day. But they were like, and it's Savage Rogue from like Savage Rogue back in the day with like essentially the bikini and everything else, and she looks fucking hot. And somebody was like, "Why are you drawing her like that?" And it's like, because that's what the original source material did, and it looks good, and we all like to see that. And I was like, wait a minute, that just came out of a Marvel artist's mouth. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
They
I'm
haven't-
just saying, I'm a fan of Stars and Stripes. And
I doubt
Pretty Girls in Tights.
I don't-
That's
yeah.
Stars
don't
and
think-
Stripes and Pretty Girls in
Absolutely.
Tights. That's
I
what
doubt
Absolutely.
the artists have forgotten what sells.
And mind you, this was a character that started off in a Trump parody comic as a
I
parody
remember.
of Captain Marvel, of Carol Danvers herself.
Yeah,
And
I actually remember that. I didn't realize they produced that many books, but I remember that. Damn. Dude, that's why I love
God
playing Cyberpunk.
bless
man.
America.
That's why I love playing Cyberpunk, dude. Pam and has
I
got a
mean,
fucking ham on her back.
Never,
inside, dude. It's great.
never underestimate the willpower of a waifu.
Mhm.
I mean, they do have some other characters out
do,
there.
they do.
Some that are more kind of a little more Christian based. We have like Soul Finder.
There you go. There you go.
yeah,
But
Soul
still
Fighters.
beautiful art, still beautiful women. And
Yep.
it's not like that's one of the other things. That's one of the other drama bullshit that happened over the last couple of months that like irritated the fuck out of me. I'm a guy that does a Bible study on Sundays. Okay. Like I just got my van fixed today so I can take all my kids back to church. Okay. Guess what? God made those beautiful women. Like God made Sydney Sweeney. Okay. Like it is not wrong to appreciate her beauty. I'm not saying she needs to get into the porn industry and we all get to watch her get banged. Like that's not the right way to go. But there's nothing wrong with looking at her on a beautiful dress on the red carpet.
On the
You know what I
same
mean?
note,
Like
didn't God also make
Stacey Abrams, unfortunately.
Well, on
Hey,
the eighth day,
he
God
finished
made.
it. Ah!
On the eighth day, God
God-
made the
God
Remington
passed
wife.
Yeah.
Whatever Remington.
Yeah, that's
you know the
yeah,
clip.
That's the old saying about Sam Colt, right? Like God made everyone equal, and Sam Colt like confirmed it, or like so God created everyone equal, and Sam Colt confirmed it, or something like that. Because even women could fire that pistol off and like kill a motherfucker. But yeah, it's something along those lines. I can't remember off the top of my head right now either. But it's just like that. That's such a dumb concept too. Who gives a shit about fan service in a video game or an anime? Have you ever played video games or watched an anime before? Like it's been fan service since day one. Like there was like one of my favorites is one of my favorites. Well, they did it in Bastard. It was a really funny joke in Bastard. It's like, here's your obligatory bathhouse episode. You know what I mean? And like Black Clover even did it too. Here's your obligatory bathhouse episode. Well, it's not that. It's a battle manga. It's not that kind of anime, is what
There's
the little
always either a bathhouse
or a beach,
a hot springs episode, or a beach episode. There's one or the two. Sometimes there's both. That's how it usually goes.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Even Gundam Build Fighters had a bathhouse episode.
That's fucking great. Holy shit. Oh, that is one thing I don't think we ever got out of Attack on Titan, which kind of makes me sad. I don't remember a bathhouse scene in Attack on Titan. But
so Attack on Titan would not have it because it is like beyond like serious. Like
it's
like same thing with like Berserk, right? There's no bathhouse scenes or it's not a super serious series. Claymore, even though they didn't finish Claymore, but there's no bathhouse scene in the manga either, so it's like
that's fair. Well, it's like I don't expect one from. Has anybody been watching Sakamoto Days? Has anyone been watching that one?
It's been on my list. I want to get to.
It's good. I really like it. It's coming out weekly on Netflix. If I wasn't already reviewing 2 other shows every week, I'd probably set up a show to review that one too. But it's really good. It's very, I mean, aside the fact that it's about assassins, it's kind of family friendly. It's got like a lot of good family moral values and stuff like that embedded into it. But it's one of those
family values.
I know it's what happens when an assassin retires and gets married to a wife that says no more killing, and then they have a kid. That's what
instead
happens.
of the history of violence.
Yeah, it's essentially
Nobody, which was the same thing.
So speaking of spies, have you had a chance to see Spy X Family yet?
I have not. I've heard nothing but good things about that, but that is one I have not got a chance to watch yet either.
That is top tier wholesomeness.
Nice.
Comedy and all that jazz.
Very, very, very pro family message to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you're a little limited to what's on Netflix for anime,
sometimes
the big one you got to look out for coming up, Freerin.
Really? I haven't heard about that one. I haven't heard anything about that one.
Freerin has recently Freerin came out of nowhere and usurped everything. Like my anime list had Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as like the number 1 anime for the longest time, for like 15, 20 years. Freerin comes along, dethrones it like it's nothing.
Oh, did they really?
Wow.
I didn't notice that.
I'll tell you what, Netflix, like obviously their live actions have been kind of hit or miss. A lot of people really loved One Piece season 1, but like the anime that they are producing for their streaming service that they're essentially farming out to other companies has been really good. Cyberpunk Edge Runners was incredible. I'm loving Sakamoto Days. I think they're one of the reasons behind the reason why 7 Deadly Sins, which got a sequel. The 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, why they got a sequel. I think Netflix is behind some of that as well. I've loved that series. Yeah, and 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse is really good too. It picks up like 15 years later, and it's really good. Get you a new band, get you a new crew, get you a new band. Some of them are a little weird, but it's still a good time. The story and all the heart is still there from the original, and I think that's that's the most important part about all that. But yeah, like Netflix has been kind of crushing it on anime for just doing it on their own.
Yeah.
Dude. Wow, 9.31. Holy shit. That's right above Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is incredible. I love that too. Wow.
And it's
nice.
It's a great little wholesome series that has had incredible demand, which has this great little kind of storytelling where you're seeing sort of the past and the present at the same time, how 80 years has passed throughout the regions you're traveling. And ultimately, what does that mean for an elf who's nigh immortal? to be traveling among humans.
Oh, okay. I like that concept too, because like people are always like, would you be immortal if you could be? And a lot of people say no because they don't like the idea of watching like their friends and family die and all that kind of stuff. But I've always been like, no, make me immortal. Like I want to watch the rise and fall of civilization. I'm kind of watching that now, and I didn't even have to be immortal to do that. But like I love the idea of being there on the first day that Rome, what the first stone for Rome was laid, and then also being there while Nero burns it all down. Like I love the concept of that idea. You know what I mean? So it's like, like I said, I love that concept. That's great. I'm definitely gonna check that one out.
Yep. It's one I think it's one you'll probably be able to enjoy with the wife, be able to maybe find a little time to sit down and enjoy, because it's a show that it seems like a lot of women really gravitated to as well. Well, I mean, two of your main characters are female themselves, and it's nothing really overtly sexual, though there is the odd little saucy moment. But
oh yeah, it's anime. I mean, it's anime. You're going to get that. Yeah. Like my wife gets mad at me, like even with Bastard and all of its like, over the top fan service, which is very intentional. They tell you that from the beginning. It might even my wife's like, you watched an episode without me. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like she's mad at me. Like, I'm like, you fell asleep. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to stop watching. So yeah.
Can I stop?
Right? My wife's totally good with that kind of stuff. She's an anti-romantic though. She's like, she's like, it's so cringe. I'm like, how did I end up marrying you? Because like I'm such like a dirty slut romantic at heart. I'm like, I don't know how this ended up panning out. Oh, that's right, you're a redhead. Never mind. I'll tell you other things, but never mind.
We'll save those for off air.
Yeah, none taken. Wait, what? Oh.
Mechpit chat after dark.
Wait, it's dark right now.
I was about to say, yeah, it's dark outside right now, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Midnight's Edge after dark, Mechpit after dark. That's when we do Rumble exclusively, because otherwise we'll end up with a banana situation with Moss and I, and then it'll end up you getting your entire channel nuked, and yeah, we don't want that.
Oh, don't worry, we're on Kick as a backup.
Oh, that's good. I prefer Rumble, but I get it. There you go.
Yeah. There's been the last 2 years off and on. People have done the Rumble exclusive YouTube to Rumble, then they go back to YouTube, then YouTube's being weird, and then like, okay, going to Rumble.
Well, it's
only gonna get worse and worse for YouTube, and then YouTube will finally get their shit together.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, it might be like people might just like exclusively go to Rumble. Who knows?
I heard. Yeah. Did Rumble get hit today too?
Yeah, it was Rumble and Twitter both got hit with DDoS attacks. Rumble was talking about that they were having issues today too, and I'd imagine they've been getting a lot of those because I had some weird glitches with Rumble Studios last week and not pulling in their own chat and a few other things. So, I mean, it's one of those things. The one thing the devil hates the most is to be mocked and mocked. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're and trying to be a platform that's at least freer speech than a lot of other places. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but being a free speech platform and telling the truth, which is, bringing the light of God to the world, telling the truth. And so it's like, they're not going to like that. And the forces of evil that are active in our world are going to fight back against that. And that's why you see stuff like that. That's why you see it happen to Twitter. And that's why you see it happen to Rumble and everywhere else, because they don't want that to happen. They don't want you to be able to speak truth. They don't want you to be able to speak truth to power because that doesn't fit their agenda. That doesn't fit their divide and conquer. They want you all in little bubbles and little cliques where you're constantly fighting and arguing and screaming. And it's like, well, if we can actually come together and reason about things, I think one of the worst things that ever happened in the United States, and I believe it's a straight from hell kind of idea. Don't talk about religion and politics in polite company. Fuck that. That's what got us here. Not talking about politics and religion and polite company, because it literally stopped us from coming together and reasoning, because you used to be able to talk about things like that. You used to be able to have water cooler conversations over those kind of things, and they're like, well, you're not supposed to do. No, screw all of that. That's what got us here. And I'm not going to put up with it, at least myself anyway.
And that's
I'm like a mixed bag on that opinion, because it's you should be allowed to talk of that in polite company, but it should be very taboo to chastise someone else's ideas, like straight out, like trying to like crazy cancel them and stuff like that. Like,
you do realize we had some of our founding fathers literally almost try to kill each other, right? Over discussing these kind of things.
The dueling days are done.
Yeah, well,
Where's memes?
Yeah,
know, right? Let's
no,
make dueling legal again.
if your ideology can't stand up to scrutiny, then it's not an ideology that deserves to be recognized. Because although if it's a good ideology, it can stand up to scrutiny.
okay,
If it
I'll
can't, then it's gonna
caveat-
fall apart.
but
I'm a
are you
caveat
the
that.
champion, though? Are you the champion to?
Hold up.
Like,
There's two sides of that coin, real quick. There are viewpoints that if somebody can't back their own reason for following something, then they shouldn't be talking about, because there's viewpoints and there's theories that really are sound. But if somebody is just running with it to make themselves feel good and they don't even understand the depths of what they're saying they believe, like if they don't have the apologetics for it, then they need to be on the B team, C team, or the debate team, right? They don't need to be up front trying to argue with Ripa. You know what I mean? So
And
there's something to be said about
that's been the bigger issue that's been going on. We've avoided being able to discuss these things. You know, the get along that's been so fostered for so long. People have kind of, by and large, forgotten how to have these debates, how to have these discussions, and in this discourse, and be able to walk away and still have a drink at the end of the day. Like
I wanted a duel.
We made disagree
make
about,
dueling great again.
certain things. Oh yeah, let's bring back some dueling. And we ain't talking about no children's card games and motorcycles, my friends.
Hey, I'll tell you what, there'd be a whole hell of a lot less assholes in public if we brought dueling back. Okay, like if it was,
They
they
should make an old timey dueling card deck of like old like duelsters from freaking like the guns from gunslingers to like people who like use like swords and bucklers. They should do that, like a historical dueling.
Dude, that would be great. I would totally, even if you did it just on playing cards, like the little historical facts. Is like I remember a time where the military put all of the top list Al Qaeda guys and the Taliban guys on literal playing cards. So I think that would be a fun thing, dude. Just like a little facts and figures with them. Like, yeah, that would be great. We're gonna duel. We're gonna play. What was it? War, right? Where you did the cards, and it's like whoever ends up with the better duelist on top. Well, this guy killed 6 guys. Well, my guy killed 7 guys. So you're dead.
My guy dueled 48 times. Didn't kill anyone, but he died of old age. So
the Joker that goes on top is, as always, Hillary Clinton.
The most successful duelist in history. Oh, I have no information on the Clintons that can be possibly expose them. I'm perfectly and totally healthy, of sound in mind, outside of being a crazy nerd. I have no desire to end my own life in any way, shape, or form. I will never hang myself from a tree and have a 2 shotgun blast to my chest. That's just simply not going to happen.
If she does, in fact, drop the gauntlet, do not, and I repeat, do not pick it up.
There you go. Absolutely. But
she'll drop like a sack of potatoes.
It comes down to, it's like people's ideas need to be challenged, right? Because we've heard that several times inside of the video game industry from like the insiders, and I'd imagine it's the same in Hollywood. We haven't quite heard this, but they talk about toxic positivity, right? Everybody's ideas are great. Everybody's ideas are wonderful. Nobody gets criticized. It's like that is not going to work. Like that is never going to work. Criticism is key to creating something better and going forward and making yourself better, right? If people can't be critical of you and challenge your ideas in order to either find out maybe you really don't actually believe in those ideas as much as what you thought, or maybe you don't know about as much about the topic as what someone else might. That's why debates are so great. Public debates are so great. Watching people go back and forth on this kind of stuff, and then letting the audience decide, let the common folk, the common nerds decide whose side is accurate or whose side they believe in more. But
that's common nerds.
Yeah, I think you're biased.
I might be. Just a little bit. I'm a fan of fans, dude. I really am. Like I dove headlong into like making a One Piece video, knowing absolutely nothing about One Piece other than that it had like 1,000 episodes. Because I was like, they're coming for you. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming.
I can't wait for your G-Quest review.
Actually, I am so glad you brought up One Piece, because there was one other little story that came up this week that involves One Piece. And this is something I think you might be able to cut a video on.
Oh, okay. I'm down. I'm always down for something to cut a video over.
So, as we all know, like the episode count is so long. It is the modern Ulysses. That everyone's like, oh, I'm totally gonna get through this. I'm gonna go read this all. I'm gonna watch it all.
I eventually will get through War and Peace. I will eventually get through Atlas Shrugged. Sure.
My friends, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to get through One Piece, especially if you only happen to be watching it with an English dub, because the English dub has finally caught up to Japan.
Oh, it only took them taking like what 6 months off or something like that to have it happen. That is great. I'm totally a dub whore. I'm totally a dub whore. I absolutely will. I am a lazy American. I don't want to read subtitles. It was so funny. I went to
hear all the cringy voices in the dub. Oh well.
It didn't bug me. Once I figured out who was Piccolo. Once I got used to Piccolo's voice being for somebody else, like it didn't bug me anymore. But
you mean Vegeta's voice?
Is it Vegeta's? I thought it was Piccolo's voice that played.
It's the same voice actor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why that explains it. I saw them all at one of our cons down here, but it was funny too because we had one. The guy who played Highlander in the TV series, the Duncan MacLeod guy. I'm having a brain fart on what the actor's name is right now. But he came down here to one of our Comic Cons and he does stuff on a regular basis to our cons. And he walked into a room of Comic Con and they're like, "How many people here enjoy reading subtitles?" And it was like 90% of the room put their hands up. He's like, "Well, I hate to tell you, you're not the majority of the world," because like they tried making some Russian movies and it didn't sell very well in the United States because lazy Americans don't enjoy reading subtitles. And he's like, "You walked into a room full of weebs and asked that question, dude."
I was just like, I remember last time I was at an anime convention and just like they were like announcing like, "Yeah, go visit the voice actors." I'm like, no offense, but I don't care what voice actors do. What do they do? Oh, they talk over a cartoon and they just read the lines.
I mean, that could be said the exact same thing for Batman the Animated Series, but we all still love him.
We love him because
that's Batman.
But they're not the original voice. Let's just say.
Okay. I get your argument.
You don't call it dubbing. You just call it the voice actor of Batman. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's fair. I understand and respect your argument. I just, like I said, I'm a lazy American and I'm going to listen to the dub.
And I understand and respect your laziness.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I ain't got time to read shit. You have any idea how many kids I got running around my damn house? Like, you know how hard it is for me to keep my eyes on the screen to read subtitles?
I'm gonna say
why
this.
Do I have to watch this thing I'm trying to enjoy?
There are some shows like, Shangri-La, it didn't have dubs at first. I watched it as it aired. I'm really, really into the voice acting, right? Original voice acting. What's the other big one? Solo Leveling.
Both of those, by the way, are well worth your time as well. Shangri-La Frontier and Solo Leveling, I would say, are probably the other two big prominent anime, especially of this current season.
Yeah.
That
was really good. And I caught up with the manhwa of Solo Leveling.
People will often always try to find sort of the big two, the big three of anime. And certain ones they don't hold up. They don't quite last. And the thing is, One Piece is always here to always fill up one of those spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it really feels like Shangri-La Frontier has the potential because it's kind of playing with a bit of the video game tropes, and we're able to kind of jump out of that and you could easily work out the filler and kind of have some fun playing other types of games with that, not just playing in this one little sandbox. Solo Leveling has that much more serious aesthetic of sort of a power fantasy to it, like many other animes have kind of come along and had. By the way, those, for those of you that are all caught up on all 1,122 episodes of One Piece,
I'm only at like 800. My God. I love the show, but my problem was, man, like one of the reasons that kind of like burnt me out on it for a little while. Like I have to do it in sections because like, man, like, was it?
Yeah, you can only do 120 episodes at a time.
Well, it's one of the things where it's like, dude, some of those fight scenes, it was worse than Dragon Ball Z, man. Like it was like
Yeah.
how long are we supposed to do the birdcage? Like how long are we supposed to do that? Like it literally lasted for like 3 seasons. That fucking birdcage, it felt like. I'm like, my God, how long before this thing crushes everybody? Like at some point, I'm like, this doesn't feel like a big threat anymore because everybody's been doing things the entire time for like 40 episodes. So it's like, really, am I supposed to think about this as being a big threat anymore? Like, and I get probably in the manga, it probably happened a lot faster and stuff like that, but it was just like, my God, in the animated, they drag it out. Holy shit.
Well, see, that's where the strength comes along. You need to don't just marathon it. You want to stop and kind of pair it with something else. Like you look at like let's say for example, a nice fine wine. We'll compare One Piece to. This is one you really want to. It takes its time. You gotta.
One Piece is more like a grape soda. Everyone drinks it, but
Okay.
It's like Coca-Cola. It's Coca-Cola.
So here's a quick question.
It pairs well with another side dish.
Here's the thing. So in the 18 years, how many times have they adjusted the animation style for One Piece?
It's essentially been as Oda's drawings have improved, they have improved the animation. Most of it's like a straight rip as far as I'm understanding. Ironcast.
Yes. Well, they have had a couple changes along the way. Like, for example, going from where you were just talking about the Birdcage Islands, going into Wano, there was a significant increase in the quality of the animation.
Yeah,
because like I think that also affects people. Like when people are like going back to watch the original Gundam, it's harder to watch if you're used to modern stuff in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And so you go back to the original One Piece, which is only 18 years ago, but still there's such a significant difference as to what One Piece looks like today.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons why Oda is kind of like excited to do the Netflix refresh of the anime, because he's like, I want the art to look better. He's like, I've grown so much as an artist. Like those first seasons, he's almost kind of like ashamed of them, because like the art, he considers the art to be terrible. A lot of us love it, but he considers the art to be terrible.
A good artist is a little
comparably maybe, but it's still good.
Well, it's the self-critique of
none of them will ever get to quite that, early Gundam bad.
That's like early Transformers bad, dude. Like some of the Transformers
are before that actually, but
it's of the similar era.
Yeah, but it's like it's the same art style. You see that exact same art style in the because like Pluto, I think, has got like a Transformers channel where you can watch Transformers 24/7, and then like at one point, I don't know, it was for an anniversary or something like that. YouTube had like a couple of 24/7 Transformers channels, and so I was watching some of those, and it was like, yeah, that art style is very basic, very basic.
As a kid say, yeah, basic.
You basic bitch. Oh, and then also I've been so spoiled by being with Ironcaster on like Clobby's Clubhouse and the comic shop talk, because we go back and read like all of these old Spider-Man comics and all of this other stuff, and like the art is incredible. And it's like one of the big critiques that I do have about the Rippaverse, and it's even with Gooding and a few of these others, right? Like I can critique, I own the damn thing, but like the art cover, the covers are incredible, but when you get to the interiors, some of them are very plain and very simple. You know what I mean? And that irritates me because I know that they can do better. I've seen art that is better, and I want you to do better. You know what I mean? But
manga that's done better. Interiors, they're just like, there's no colors, but my God, do they do things with the black and whites? Oh
yeah, yeah. Some of the shadings and stuff like that. Like I've got some of the stuff here from Black Clover somewhere over here on my desk, and yeah, some of that stuff's incredible. And I get it takes longer time and stuff like that, but if the product comes out of a higher quality, I'd rather wait an extra month. You know what I mean? I really would.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wait. This is not the first time I've been known to rave about Gundam Thunderbolt, but that is some of the most prettiest freaking mech drawings, like colored and black and like whites, just straight up, just the prettiest freaking manga like I've ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
Plus they're a little fatter books, so it's nice.
Yeah, these are beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're looking at them right now. The panels.
Yeah, I thought I would bring one up so we could at least have a little visual reference.
Oh yeah. Just
And for everything that we've kind of said about so many of these other comics, like I mean, heck, I've shown you the stack of all the common America. Like these come out like what 2, 3, 2 maybe 2 of these a year. Like they aren't exactly like on a monthly release, but it comes along. I look forward to the next volume. It comes out. I'm going to enjoy it. They maybe put out a secondary side book with some other characters, but they have like additional comics coming out as well. That's all good. As long as they give me 2 of those two books, maybe 3 a year, I'm happy, and I will keep giving them my money.
is it worth the coin?
Especially because this hardcover is like $15.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like 48.
Yeah, these ones are a little pricier. The Thunderbolts, they're a little pricier because they're bigger. They're just a little bigger than your standard manga, but they're so worth it. Just look at that. Look at that art style. My goodness.
All
Those
that
are some
mecha porn.
Pretty mechs.
Oh yeah, it is some pretty stuff. Let me find a couple of other examples here. Oh yeah.
Wow.
There we go.
I do really, really, really like those.
Yeah, look at that pretty coloring too.
That looks gorgeous.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, because there's so much shading in it. There's so much, like, this isn't just flat panels of color. It's like when you talk about like models, like the tabletop models, right? Like the difference between an incredible paint job and a serviceable paint job is the difference between shading and the way you do your color palettes and everything else. Like you've got the lighter and darker contrast, which shows up the white, and you can even do it with black and white. I mean, look at that. You can tell where all the bright spots are, where all the light and dark spots are. You know what I mean? Get back to making art great again.
Oh yeah. Now look at that. Look at that Zong. My goodness.
Yeah. Check out that Atlas.
And I mean, the thing is,
and the story's compelling too. I want to read the next episode because I want to figure out what happens because it's so suspenseful.
The thing is,
that's really cool.
So much of the existing entertainment that's been around that has basically taken its audience for granted, that assumes that they're always going to have the people here no matter what. Be it Marvel or DC, Warhammer, like none of them have they've all sort of assumed they would retain this monopoly. But the reality is more and more people, I think, are slowly waking up to the reality that there are so many other possibilities out here. I wasn't getting my superhero fix out of Marvel and DC. I've since jumped over to Kamen Rider, to Super Sentai. I am getting consistent releases that make me very happy. I get a new episode of each one of those like every Sunday. I can sit down, I can start the week out. I get to watch like a dude like shove candy into his belt and become a superhero and kick ass and have all kinds of fun action. It is the coolest stuff.
Dude, I watched one of those seasons of Kamen Rider after your suggestion, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is just like my Power Rangers, and I'm loving every second of it. Shout out to Tubi.
Which one did you watch? Was it Geats?
I don't. It was the one where the kid like essentially inherits the power from like his dad or something, or like a briefcase.
01. Yeah.
Yeah, 01. Yeah. And I was like, I know exactly where Power Rangers got their identity from, and this is great. This is great.
Well, yeah, Super Sentai.
Which by the way, the current season of that is super is I think 3 or 4 episodes in right now, and it's a lot of little fighting game sort of aesthetics to it. It's pretty fun. We're getting to see some of the old suits coming back because it's the 50th anniversary series that they're really like hitting on. It's a ton of fun. I'm now going back. I'm starting to watch some of the old stuff. I had to kind of restart over the Sentai Time Rangers. We would best know it as Power Rangers. Was it the Time? Oh, what was that one?
I'm not
Time Rangers. It was Time Rangers.
Okay.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, I have no idea. I fell off after like the ninja one. I think I started growing up and getting interested in girls. That's probably what ended up happening.
What?
Don't get me wrong. I was a Power Rangers fanatic, dude. Like I literally won so much Power Rangers shit from my local TV station that my grandma had a trunk full of stuff when we came home. I had like all the DVDs. I had like all the toys. Like I met JDF at the con down here, got him to sign stuff. And like, I like, no, trust me. Like I was Power Ranger. I'm just saying like at some point I like,
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I think that's where I fell off with video games too. I started chasing girls. That's why I have like a 10-year gap in my video game history too. No, I found the internet and other things. Especially, but yeah, specifically.
Video games. I had friends who had a GameCube, but I never got one, and that's my biggest regret because now they're expensive and they're all souped up.
See, I was the one who had all the consoles.
Oh, I have all the other Nintendo consoles.
Yeah. I had the Nintendo, I had a 64, I had a Sega Genesis, and then that was when my gap stopped. Well, the 64 was when my gap stopped because I had like I had Game Boys and stuff. I'll tell you exactly where my gaming really kind of stopped. So I'm literally sitting here playing Pokemon on the couch in the living room, and my grandparents are listening to the news. I'm like in like 7th grade or something like that. And the story came on about how armadillos were starting to move into Missouri from like Oklahoma and Texas and stuff like that because of, they tried blaming it on, global warming and all that kind of shit back then or whatever. But I was like, my first thought in my head was, I got to go catch one of those. And I was like, oh, shit. And I turned it off and I didn't play Pokemon for like 15 years. So I was like, whoa, got way too into this one, boys and girls. Got way too into this one.
Did you find the armadillo, though?
No. I fortunately never captured an armadillo. Although I was hunting a cougar for quite a while, and I don't mean that in the way you guys think. I had a cougar kill my dog. I was hunting that for quite a while.
Oh, an actual cougar. See,
right.
With everything I knew about you, I was expecting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, man, I had some time.
Don't cougars live in towns now? Cougar Town. Yeah.
I could give you this one too. Just because I fell flat.
Yeah. Take it.
That's about right.
I don't do it for the rim shots.
Oh, my soundboard isn't working now.
Oh, well, that's also disappointing.
But guys, it has been so much fun, and while I do appreciate all the extra time trying to get the hours up, which I've been slacking on. I need to do better myself, but I think that's it for the night, folks.
Man, you just got to make that one viral video, dude. That's what you need. I had like one I had a Warhammer 40K video get like 25,000 views, and like that destroyed my watch hours overnight. So that's what you got to do. You got to make like one viral video. Like, I don't know, cut out a video of Punkwaddle saying something funny and put that out there and see what happens. I don't know.
Release the N-word cut.
Ooh, that's not the way to gain traction on YouTube anymore. We're not the right color for that, brother. I didn't know if you noticed or not.
It's fine. I'll soundboard it.
Well,
just have Grok.
Necronomicon.
Right, yeah, that's true. Necronomicon. There you go. I mean, you could just have Grok.
What other N-word were you discussing?
Well, I was thinking of Nigeria. That one's generally a problem. And then there's also Norway, which, I mean, Norway is just, I mean, do we even talk about Norway anymore? I don't even know.
There's a great deleted scene from Army of Darkness.
Oh, I love
where Ash is sitting here like, N-word. It's an N-word.
It's Nagger, you racist. What's wrong with you?
No, that's on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's Tuesday night.
Oh, Tuesday night.
Nippers and Naggers.
Yeah.
Oh, Nippers and Naggers. There you go. God, I love that episode from Family. Oh, that was horrible. But that's a beautiful art, though.
Absolutely. Telling you, come check out some of the other stuff. There's so much more to enjoy. I'm, of course, going to recommend Kamen Rider Geet says probably the next one of those series for you to check out. I mean, especially if you want to have something that's a 1 part Fortnite meets 1 part Squid Games.
It's on Tubi.
It's on Tubi. And literally, both those things were part of the inspiration. It is phenomenal. I cannot recommend Kamen Rider Geats enough.
Okay, so I don't know tons about Kamen Rider, but Kamen Rider Geats after watching the first episode. And then the second episode, I'm like, what the hell? Like, this premise wasn't fully explained at the beginning, and now I'm getting into it. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, some people remember. Yeah, without getting into much. I was like,
there we go. There's my boy.
Like, the first episode really sets you in the middle of something, and then the second and third episode starts actually establishing the story.
Well, the grand prize is the ability to reshape reality to your whims. So
okay, Highlander.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it is, though. You got to go through and eliminate the competition to be the last one standing.
There can be only one.
Mm-hmm. And why not do it while you're having kick-ass superhero moments and like explosions and shoving your head up your own ass?
I mean, I might have done that once or twice.
Woo!
It happens.
It does happen.
If you have a big enough puppet hole, it's easier.
Whoa, that's right. The puppet holes are more than easy for that one. That's true. Yeah, y'all are all completely and totally blown out. Like fisting ain't nothing. Like you're all into like the stretching and all that kind of really crazy, like the blow up pumps and all that really kind of crazy shit now.
Oh,
so.
Gator's into stretching. He's already pre-stretched.
He's pretty worn.
Trust me. Why do you think he's so into waifu pillows?
It's like the elastic band on your favorite shorts that you should have thrown out 3 years ago because it's not elastic anymore.
Yeah,
because you've been wearing those same pair for 10 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge me.
They grew with you. You don't notice.
Or what's really fun is when you put on the pants and then you're a little stretchy and you hear that snap, 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 and you're like, oh, that's not elastic anymore.
Oh, that's the thread.
Yeah.
No, that's the elastic that's just breaking because it has no stretch anymore.
It's become unweaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unwoven. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious. That was great.
But guys, I think with that we're gonna go around real quick. What you guys got? What do you guys have coming up? What you doing? And we'll see ourselves out.
Mm-hmm.
So Snacks, let's start with you, my friend.
I'm making a mask tomorrow. I'm making Char's mask tomorrow.
Sweet.
So yeah, we're getting super close to the finished product.
You gonna be Char ass nipples?
I am going to be Char ass nipples for, well, by the time it should be like 100% done by April. Fingers crossed.
Sweet.
All right.
You know, that's considered. A lot of people see that as the new year.
True.
Depends which calendar you're looking at.
Yeah.
Well, Gator's born on April 1st, so.
Oh, he is a practical joke then.
Yeah. That explains so much.
It's the day after my birthday. It's the day after my birthday.
Oh.
Punkwaddle, what's coming up, buddy?
Well, trying to stay positive. Tuesdays is Penguin Positivity. You know, trying to keep doing my videos, and yeah, I think I'm trying to keep up to 4 a week with the Breaking the Ice on Mondays, Positivities on Tuesdays, take a couple days off, then do your PSAs for the weekend, and then the Ice House to chill on Saturday. So I'm trying to make it fun and not too, I don't know, too ponderception, you know, gotta don't want to get too lost in thought. So yep.
And of course, last but not least, our Warhammer Lorehammer expert, Mr.
Whoa. Well, I am the direct opposite of Punkwaddle. If you want disastrous dumpster fire news all the time of how things are burning down in the pop culture, please come check out my channel. I also do positive stuff on occasion. We're enjoying Daredevil Born Again. We're also doing Doctor Who. But yeah, normally I do a show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. like pop culture, nerd news, gaming, all of that kind of stuff, trailers, the whole nine. Unfortunately, the kids are on spring break right now. Baby is still at the house with me, all by her lonesome. So we're going to try to do some stuff in the evenings. Hopefully I should be able to premiere my evening show tomorrow, which technically evening, it's 4 o'clock my time, so 5 o'clock Eastern. So technically it's evening show. But we're going to try to do that, cut some videos, do like the normal thing that we do during the day. But for all of the confirmed, beyond a shadow, I might, depending on if the kids are asleep, if I can get all the kids to sleep, I'm gonna have to go spank some ass probably here in a second. But if the kids are all asleep, I'll probably come back out for some Cyberpunk Edge Runners here in a little while. Wednesday nights, I've got Midweek Hump, which I do over on the Shagsworth channel. We have a great time over there on that one. That one's normally about 10:30 Central Standard Time. Thursday nights, me and my dear sweet friend Sunker Maiden, who has really big fucking boobs, does Daredevil Born Again. We're doing that review right now. You can come over there and torture her because Mr. Grant Gregory is a beautiful man and created a video of her making out with a lizard via AI. So if you like to torture beautiful women, come hang out with us on Thursdays. Fridays, we have $5 Fridays where you guys get to spend $5 or more as far as donations and get to keep me in the chair for as long as you want to. Obviously, Friday night, I have Comic Shop Talk with our dear sweet Iron Iron Caster. I got too many irons in my life. I got an iron oxide and an iron caster. But we'll do that there on Fridays. That is true too. Most likely, that's probably why I get so sick with the weather changes and everything else. And then Saturday nights we'll be back to Cyberpunk Edge Runners. We're doing the Phantom of Liberty DLC. This is my first playthrough. I'm absolutely loving this game. Then Sunday night at 7 p.m., Mr. Grant Gregory and also our dear sweet Sunker Maiden review When Who Was Good. Where we're going through the Peter Capaldi era right now. It's absolutely incredible. And when I have to report on Doctor Who news that breaks my soul, it's a really nice little review to go on. And if you've never watched the show, it's a great time to come in with us. Grant Gregory's full of a bunch of lore because he's literally been watching this since he was in diapers and for some reason cannot quit it. It's literally Brokeback Mountain for him at this point. I
like classic Who.
Yeah. And we're going to do Classic Who after we're done with quote unquote New Who. Once we get to the end of Capaldi, we're going to go back and do all the black and white or all the original stuff that we can find because I know it's kind of scattered and kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes. But yeah, Sunker didn't watch a lot of New Who because she was one of those ones that was like, oh, you're my David Tennant, Matt Smith, you're not my doctor. And so she kind of checked out for a little while. So it's fun to introduce her to these. And have her go back and watch these essentially for the first time. So it's been a lot of fun. That's what we do. I'm doing things constantly. Come subscribe to my channel. Shout out to DJ Ronnie and everybody else that's been dropping my links. Vince Womack, good to see you, brother, out there in the chat as well. This is my second channel that I had to do. I had one that was over 4,000 subscribers. This is my full-time job. Praise the Lord. I have the most wonderful chat in the world that I'm able to do this full time. So come subscribe to the new channel. Go follow me on Rumble. Go follow me on Twitter. All of those kind of fun things. And I appreciate all of you guys so very much. This is the best job in the world. And I love to be able to rant about all the evils that's going on in pop culture and nerd news and be able to hopefully at least stand as one small flag trying to beat back the darkness. So I appreciate all of you guys very much. And thank you, obviously, Ironcaster. Glad I was able to make it today. Sorry I was late, but man, this has been a blast.
And Ironcaster is muted. But
No,
I believe he's saying, "Wow, that was amazing. That was awesome. Never stop talking because we like to hear you ramble."
I am good at that. I do a 4-hour show. Wow, we couldn't hear that. That was just like Ironcaster. It was delayed for like 4 seconds before we heard any audio. So yeah,
I had no idea why everything just tried to reset on me. Like my camera tried to switch over to like the VTubing software, and it's like, no, I didn't push anything. I don't know why it thinks this.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I do apologize sometimes for being the loudest voice in the room and over talking people. Like the Lord has blessed me with the gift of gab. That's the reason why I can do a 4-hour show all by myself. And
that's a nice way of saying you're the most annoying here.
I am.
Okay.
I am the most annoying here.
To be fair, it's usually Snacks and or Gator.
Yeah, it's usually me, so I'm glad. This is like, yay! I'm like,
that's taking the night off. I don't like silence, like that, like dead air on a stream is the worst thing in the world. So if you give me a dare, look, I got 6 kids. If you give me a spot, I'm going to fill it. Okay.
It's okay. I'm just funneling with the char helmet right now.
Yeah. I wanted to thank you for coming by.
Do your outro.
Yep. Guys, so real quick, let me go ahead and thank you guys for showing up. As always, this is the highlight of my week. This is the best way I think to get the week going because we share a few laughs as we get over the fact that Monday's gone. The weekend is so far away. And here we are. But you can find me tomorrow over on Pop's Pops is for talk hard, where we are getting into the spirit of things for old St. Patty's Day as we delve into a little Boondock Saints.
Ooh, love that movie.
Good stuff.
I got to enter my one claim to fame outside of getting called out by Director X.
Flame.
Hi, Julian. Yeah, my one claim to flame is that I got to interview the directors from Nefarious, who, of course, one of the brothers from that was in Nefarious. Yeah, those guys are great. Anyway,
Okay.
that movie's incredible. I love Boondock Saints.
I mean, the most I got was getting to interview the director of Tremors. So,
Dude, we got to talk to like some famous people on Comic Shop Talk. What are you talking about?
well, I mean, if we're talking movie directors,
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, so
Squirrel.
we gotta work something out soon, guys. Yes, squirrel. Let's. I don't know if we could sit down and help introduce you, common nerd, to a little bit of Gundam. We'll do some, we gotta do some, maybe over the summer. We'll work something out where we talk some big robots.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I love big stompy robots. I've been a Mech Warrior fan since like '95 and on the PC. So it was funny. I went to another squirrel moment. I went to the con. They have the big Mech Warrior things in here, and he gives you like a list of like the mechs you can choose. And I'm like, there's no Atlas on here. He's like, oh, you know what you're talking about. Yeah, we got an Atlas. I'm like, that's what I like. I'm a bullet sponge that likes to blow things up. So yeah.
Doctor, are we going to put him
typical-
on a classic binge, or are we going to give him something else?
Well, it all depends. How much Gundam have you been exposed to? Is there any series you've watched? We gotta really, if there's
Oh,
gonna
the
be any
world's his
Gundam,
oyster. My goodness.
0079 would be a good place to go. But there are a lot of fun little
Oysters are
side
an
stories.
aphrodisiac. I don't know if I need more of that.
And I mean, realistically though, if you want to change a pace for something that feels a little, especially with the summer months, feels a little patriotic, I mean, why not G Gundam?
Okay.
Do you want to be racist with robots?
Dude, I'm half Mexican. Of course I want to be racist with
Oh,
robots.
well, then you'll fit right into the tequila Gundam.
Yeah, you'll love the tequila Gundam.
Dude, was that real?
Yes.
I saw some of the
It's
pictures
real.
from that shit. Was it fucking real?
That's
Absolutely.
100% real.
Dude,
Yeah,
that is the
What,
most
the US,
racist.
US
That's
Gundam's got like a
almost
cowboy
as-
hat, boxing glove. No, it's got a football helmet or a football
Yeah,
hat.
yeah.
Dude, that is
So-
almost as bad as D&D turning the orcs into Mexicans, man.
All right, so to give you a little context, G Gundam is its own like self-contained universe where rulership of Earth's politics is decided by a giant robot match where every nation has a Gundam that gets launched to Earth, where Earth is the arena. They all fight until there's like one left. You have to destroy the heads. And each one chose to like have a different Gundam that represents itself.
Its
And
country, its
yeah.
values.
Mexico chose the Tequila Gundam.
That is fucking real. It's got the cactus and everything. Oh my god.
Got the hat.
That
It's
is
got a
incredible.
sombrero. Oh my god!
It even
looks
has
so much
the
better.
it's not the thing on its one shoulder. It's the poncho.
Yeah, the poncho.
And it gets
Like,
better because the nation that it's from, oh wow, is it not even on here? Neo Mexico.
Neo Mexico. Look, if that guy isn't taking a tequila shot before every fight and the Russians aren't drinking vodka the entire time they're flying those things, I don't know if I can really believe it or not.
Well, the Russian's from prison, so
Yeah.
you know,
It's
literally,
the gulag.
he-
Get it
he's-
right. It's the gulag.
he's allowed to get out of the gulag every once in a while just to fight
Just
in
to
the
fight.
in
Dude,
the
my-
battle, and he's back
my-
to the gulag with him.
Dude, my favorite story is of a Russian pilot. He had an American pilot in the back because I'm an Air Force guy. Like I was in the Air Force, and so like I love the pirate stories. But there was a guy, there was an American who brought this story back from Russia. And they were doing like a little dual training mission or whatever. The fucking Russian, he lands the plane with one fucking engine, walks away from it, and was lit on vodka the entire fucking time.
Right.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was like a
that's
giant
Neo
penis.
Mexico. Yep.
Those are
That's the
giant
colony.
cactuses in space.
That's the space colony. Yeah.
This is what the Mexicans chose to live
I
in.
don't know what's more racist, the Gundams or the space colonies themselves.
Yes.
Dude, this was made by Japan, right?
This is
yes.
in
Okay.
the 80s.
Dude.
This is made by 90s Japan.
Oh, no,
Outside
January
of
90s.
like outside of like an old Mexican, the most racist motherfuckers I've ever met are Asians. So this makes sense. All the stereotypes are in here, and I'm here for it. I love it. Stereotypes exist for a reason. I also like fried chicken and watermelon, though. But at the exact same time, I also love tacos and tequila. So,
don't let this it's not really deterring you. I hear you're laughing, but it's actually a good story as well. So there's actually a good story inside all this shenanigans.
That just makes it even better. Then that just makes it even better.
Also, Kenya has its own Gundam. Every nation has a Gundam. Kenya has the Zebra Gundam.
Yeah, and 130,000.
Well,
this is not a parody. This is an official Gundam series that came out in the 90s, like 96, I think. Right?
Well, look, it's not as bad as what I expected from Kenya. Okay, so I'm good with a Zebra Gundam.
They made toys.
I love that.
They sold these in America.
I want the Mexican ones so bad right now. I want this tequila sombrero fucking guy.
Unfortunately, there is no tequila Gunpla.
Yeah, we're all waiting because they've actually started making. P Bandai has been making a few of the G Gundam.
It's always Shining Gundam though. They always give us the Shining.
No. They did the Rose Gundam, and they've done a couple other. They've done 2 or 3, in the last year or two. P Bandai other G Gundams.
The Rose Gundam, that was Britain, right?
French.
Oh, that was
with the fencing.
Oh yeah.
But of course, the Netherlands.
I love that. I actually dated a Swedish girl for a while too. She was a freak. That's fucking great. I love that so much.
But these are some of the more notable examples from this particular show. But it's always something fun to look forward to. Like, which country are we got to go to next? Who are we going to defend? No, everyone loves it.
That's great.
G Gundam is one of the most passionate. Like, if you love all the screaming over the top fun stuff we get with 40K, screaming about rip and tear.
Yeah.
It's literally guys in cockpits that are kind of matching the movements of the fighters. So they have martial artists as the pilots.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's sort of like
essentially
like 90s
shadow
VR
capturing their movements.
Yeah.
So wait. Go ahead. Finish your story.
Shadow capturing, kind of like that one with Hugh Jackman, but they're inside the robot.
Yeah.
So
Chappie.
So my only question is then is the Mexican one doing your lawn at one point and trimming the hedges? What kind of Mexican martial artists are you really going to find? Like, let's be completely honest about this for a second.
He's jumping out windows. Let's be fair.
No, he's jumping fences.
We also
fences.
Crossing rivers. He's a really good swimmer.
It's gonna actually there's a compartment that does the dishes.
So we've got the Maxter Gundam, and then the French fencing one in the last 18 months.
That is great.
Oh, nice.
So
that is great.
So with that, folks, I think let's go ahead and wrap this up.
I was going to say, you're welcome for completely and totally derailing your ending.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were about to end the show like 20 minutes ago.
This is what nerds do. You remember what comic shops were like? You remember what nerd stores were like? This is what it is. This is what it is.
Right into the door. Some says, "Hey, did you see this?" I'm like, "Wait, what? Oh yeah, by the way, let's check that out."
Yeah, it's literally, there's an old joke about like Missourians. It's like we say bye and then talk for another 20 minutes. It's exactly what this is.
This, my friends, is no Midwest goodbye. We're gonna be go ahead and ending here. So with that, folks, be sure to check out all these guys. Their links are down in the description. Check us out in the social medias, in the usual places. And guys, until further notice, be good to yourselves. Look forward to the week because you don't know how long you're gonna have. So with that, we're gonna get out of here and let's send you out with a nice little clip. So take care, guys. Bye.
Lynn is alone with the grimoire.
I stab it. Wait, I backstab it.
Good call. You can't backstab it. You can't sneak attack an inanimate object.
Why not? It's prone.
It doesn't have a discernible anatomy.
It's got a spine, doesn't it?